Okay, let me just take you through this quickly. The behind here, I'm deliberately blocking some part of this email message behind in my Gmail box because the website, the client's URL, website URL is visible, and there's no point showing that, So, but my clients, my web marketing clients, long-term clients, he started as actually as a farm CEO who needed my solution, so he bought my software, handbook, some other stuff, and then later on, we built a relationship to the point where he decided to have me handle the web marketing for his company. So he forwarded this to me a few days ago. I saw it and I read through it, and I decided that it was time for me to do something to do a write-up, a video presentation on this. So what you have on your screen, actually, I just copied it from the actual email. I copied it here and I changed the URL. You can see what I've written here is myclientsurl.com, because I don't want to use his actual URL. That's to protect his privacy, but the message remains effectively the same thing. This exact email, just what difference is just the URL. So I'm just going to run through it quickly so you know exactly what the offer was that was sent to him. As far as I'm concerned, this is a vendor making a sales pitch, trying to sell their product, which this time around it's not SEO, it's actually a product on the website with a chat widget, and they're just trying to make a sale, right? And I talk about this in detail in terms of my response, but I just want to read through the email first of all, so you understand what that was offered. In case you receive it, maybe you might think my advice might be of use to you. Consider what I have to say about this, how you should respond, how you should react to this kind of message. All right, he says, first thing, he says, "Hey there, I just found your site. Quick question. My name is Eric. I found your..." Notice that he just uses first name, which is okay if you want to be impersonal, no problem, but then he can't even find out what your name is. He says, "Hey there." I says, he mentions the website name. After doing a quick search, you showed up near the top of the ranking. So whatever he didn't tell you what he used to search for it, so you have no clue if he's telling the truth or he's telling a lie, right? Get that? So he then says, whatever you're doing for SEO looks like it's working well. That's nothing. He's just trying to massage your ego. All right. Then he says, "So here's my question. What happens after someone lands on your site? Anything?" Right. Then he says, "Research tells us at least 70% of people who find your site after a quick once over, they disappear forever. That means all the work and effort you put into getting them to show up go down the tubes." Okay. He's making a sales. He's trying to pitch there. He's trying to tell you, okay, something is wrong with what you have, even though you are getting good results in the engines. But what happens after the engine? Because the ultimate goal should be for you to close the sale or at least make an inquiry coming, right? I talk about something called the website conversion ratio, but that comes up later in the recording. Why would you want all that good work and the great site you have built to go to waste? It's a good question he's asking you. So he goes on to say, because the odds are they'll just skip over calling or even grabbing their phone, leaving you high. That is, because the goal is for them to contact you. So they'll skip over calling or even grabbing their phone. The thing is, there are many ways to contact you. That's just one. They could email you. Beyond that, they could go ahead and go and comment on your Facebook. Everything I'm telling you have been done. Some people didn't call me, they didn't email me. They came to Facebook and sent me an inbox message. That's it. So it all depends on what you're selling. It depends on the kind of people you're targeting. It depends on the nature of what they do. It depends on the market they are in. Because the market can put limitations in them that are peculiar. So, for instance, if it's a market where they've not exactly use payment cards like credit cards, maybe they have to do transfers and all that to your country. So that may determine how they may even view your offer. Some people may be interested in your offer, but look, if you're in Nigeria, for instance, and the website is receiving payments only through PayPal, that has happened to me. You may be interested in the solution that the person is selling, but you'll not be able to buy because they gave no other option. They said it's PayPal or nothing. And Nigeria at that time, we were not using PayPal. We couldn't make payments using PayPal. What would I do? I couldn't buy. I had to try to get my brother-in-law to help. He was not available at that time. He was busy. So there are many reasons people may leave you. So you got to, this kind of message is okay, but consider them by adopting a wider perspective, broader perspective in your thinking. Right. So he says, but here's a thought. What if you could make it super simple for someone to raise their hand, say, okay, let's talk, without requiring them to even pull their cell phone from their pockets? Okay, so you can, thanks to revolutionary new software. So he arrives at his destination now. He's trying to sell you a product. Revolutionary new software that can literally make that first call happen now. Talk with Web Visitor, that's the name of the product. It's a software widget that sits on your site, ready and waiting to capture any visitor's name, email address, and phone number. It lets you immediately, sorry, it lets you know immediately so you can talk to that lead while they're still there at your side. Strike when the iron's hot. Click here, then it puts the link to try out a live demo. We'll talk with Web's Visitor now to see exactly how it works. When targeting leads, you have to act fast. The difference between contacting someone within 5 minutes versus 30 minutes later is huge, like 100 times better. I'm going to say something straight away here. You see, I have learned my lessons. When I started out in web marketing in 2005, I didn't start out with any understanding of the platform, as you can imagine, because I was new. And then, so I followed the gurus. At that time, the gurus then are no longer the gurus now. Believe me, the terrain has changed. The landscape is completely different. So at that time, the gurus, there was a guy who called something Maha. I can't remember now. Was it Tom Maha or whatever? He was an SEO guru. He would tell you all kinds of meta tags and HTML. In fact, you will do tags. You will be working in code and web code and all that. Today, nobody bothers with that anymore because it doesn't make sense. Ultimately, the human being is not going to interact with the code. It's going to interact with the text content, the video content, the audio content. So why don't you focus your energies there? Because once you connect with people emotionally through the content, they will do whatever it is you want them to do. A high percentage of the time. So what I found out is that what this person is saying here, because he wants to sell a product, he's selling you this idea that you need to grab the person that's on the website before he goes. No. If you do the job of creating what I call response generating content that is relevant to the needs of your own desired target audience, it's very important. Not everybody that encounters your marketing message will fit your target audience profile. Your target audience profile will be something that enables people, would be a description, all right, of the ideal kind of customer you are looking for. So the ideal person will be somebody that has the kind of need your solution is meant to address. So once that person sees your marketing content which describes what your solution is, that meets that, potentially means that, they will naturally feel drawn to connect with your content more, to go in deeper and look for a way to even reach out to you if they're convinced as they go further. Once that happens, they will be the ones contacting you and not the other way around. This is where these people go wrong, and they know what they are doing. They are only trying to work on the emotions of those who are uninformed or not well informed. That is the only way it works. So if not, people like myself and people who have received web marketing education practically, they know that the goal is to create response generating copy that makes the people that encounter it to decide that, wow, I want this, I want to know more about this, I'd like to reach out to the person who sent this out here, who put this out here, so I can get more information and probably make a buying decision. So you cannot be trying to grab people. You don't need to grab them, because if what you are offering solves a real problem for them, it's a no-brainer. They will contact you by themselves. For some of them, will even just copy out your phone number, store it somewhere on their phone. I do that all the time when I'm convinced about what I want to buy, and they call you up later when they have the time. Yes, there are some that can forget, no problem. This is why your content is response generating. If you design your response generating content correctly, for it to qualify to be called response generating, they will use the resources you provide on your website to connect with you with their contact details in a way that allows you to follow up with them later on. Why? Because you make an offer. You do a call to action on your content. The call to action will make them leave you that information. So even if they're not ready to talk to you right now, you will have received a message from them about what they would like to know more about from you. Then you respond. This is something I have done for years on end. It works. Now, I'm going to give you a practical example because I don't want to sound like I'm just giving opinion. So he said that's why you should check out our new SMS text with lead feature as well. Once you've captured the phone number of the website visitor, you can automatically kick off the text message conversation with them. He's making it sound like it's kind of a countdown clock working against you. If you don't contact them now, you're going to lose. It's a lie. It doesn't work like that for everybody. It depends on what you are selling. And personally, I don't believe in using hype to sell. All this kind of time is running out models don't work. They are very pushy salesmanship techniques. Don't use them. Many times, most of us are selling things that you cannot sell like that. The minute you are behaving like that, you are going to repel the customer. You're going to feel, why is people putting me under so much pressure? They'll feel pressured, and that is not a good way to sell to people. You want to sell people by drawing them in, using what we call inbound marketing techniques. Okay, it's very important to understand the difference between what these guys are trying to push you to do and what you should be doing, because very few of us have products that people will be thinking, I have to get it now or never. Very few of us have such products. All right. Imagine how I'm continuing the text of the message. Imagine how powerful this could be. Even if they don't take you up on your offer immediately, you can stay in touch with them using text messages to make new offers, provide links to create content. Agreed. Two most important bits of web marketing, real estate you need together: email addresses and phone numbers. Those two are so critical. All right, so you get those; they are very important. You add them to your database. So he said just this alone could be a game changer to make your website even more effective. Blah blah blah. So he's creating the impression like this tool they have, this widget they have, is the key to capturing those things. And I'm saying no. You can use leading content on your website to get the person to fill a conventional contact form, and you get the same thing. I've been doing that for years, and I do it very effectively. I don't need a chat. I've never used a chat widget on my website. I never felt the need to. When I even tried it, it was a waste of time. It didn't work for my kind of solutions. What I was selling and the target audience I was dealing with, they didn't respond to it. Instead, they responded to the more subtle, less obvious ways. They would come back to me through the inbox, and they would send me messages, and I would make sales. Sometimes they sell of much as 75,000 and I come on, and they don't make a single entry into my web form. They just come directly to me through email or phone directly. So it depends on your brand. You've got to study what works for you. Not everybody is the same, and that's most important. Now I want to share with you a case study. I cannot show you the website of the client, but I will tell you this. We have one of the things we decided to put, and he was the one that requested for it. I didn't even think of it, but I thought it was a good idea because in his own case, that's why I said it depends on the market you are dealing with. We were dealing with an international, with manufacturers in a different country, China, and we were hoping to attract them so we could link them up with buyers in Africa. So he's a guy who's been internationally traveled. He'd been based in China for over 8 to 10 years, and we were trying to now do what he had been doing. He was importing and exporting stuff. We wanted to now help him make money by linking prospective importers with legitimate manufacturers from China. And we put this chat button, this WhatsApp chat widget on the website, and we started. The first month was crazy. Literally every day these guys were falling over themselves to contact him. So I'm giving you real story. This happened just under the last 3 months or so, and we were busy responding to because the instruction was for them to contact him through the chat widget, and then they will be told when they chatted with him that they needed to do a video call with him by showing their factory in the video, and they will do that, and they will book an appointment and call him. He was taking calls, and it was almost like a job on its own, and he had his own business he was running here in Lagos. So we kept taking them up, and they would do the video calls, but I knew it was only a matter of time before we would be able to know whether or not to take them seriously. And that's the thing about me. I don't question what anybody says he wants to do, but I always look at the results. Naturally, the results will guide you on what you should pay attention to. Eventually, what happened was, by the time they worked with him, did the video calls, and then he told them, right, at this point, the next step for you to do is join my platform, right? Join my manufacturer's directory. There are two options: the free option, the paid option. The free option is where we showcase you in the video channel and on the website without putting your contact details there. Now, you want people to be able to access your contact details, then you have to sign up for the paid directory listing, where we then become also your representatives on the African continent, linking you up, reaching out to potential buyers and linking them up with you. These people, without a single exception, all walked away from that option. They insisted that they wanted my client to be a commission agent and start running up and down using his resources to market them so they will get a buyer, and then they will give me a commission. I told him, I said, make up your mind. I said, this system I'm developing for you commands respect. It makes you command respect from those people who want to deal with you. They should tell you, all right, that they are ready to do business with you on a win-win basis, wherein they give you something to cover the work you're going to do to reach out, because you are going to be giving them exposure on your platform. They don't have that exposure. They also do not have understanding of the market that they're trying to get into. They need you, all right? In fact, they need you more than you need them. So I said, it's for you to put your foot down, and they will come around eventually. Because I did that with the Pakistani people, the Indians, people in other countries. I did that. I stood my ground, and today I have them as clients. So my point is, this was what I told him. This was what we did. And so what happened was, they saw that he was not going to budge, and gradually the inquiries dropped from that angle. Instead, what we are pushing now is to build a database of buyers who indicate interest in having Chinese manufacturers contact them. Then we offer that database to any Chinese manufacturer that's interested. Since they want to do direct marketing, we'll give them resources to directly market to contact database of people in Nigeria or Africa who want to be contacted by manufacturers in China. So then the Chinese should come to us when they see our content, They should come to my clients and say, okay, we'd like to buy a database. How much is it? And we're done. So don't waste your energy, all right, trying to run around for anybody who's not willing to do the hard work of their own marketing themselves. So in essence, what I'm saying is this: the chat button worked for a period, but the point is, the target audience made it clear to us that that chat button was not the problem. It was not what we needed to sell. It was convincing them that it would be valuable for them to provide payment to join my client's platform and get marketed on a professional level, on a personal basis, to target audiences within the Nigerian and African market that the Chinese wanted access to. We found that that was the key to selling. It wasn't about the chat button. It wasn't having it. We have it. It's still there. We are not getting inquiries. We are getting before. You know why? Because my client started by posting all the offers onto certain about 70 Facebook groups comprising mostly Chinese manufacturers. They created it themselves. So he was a member because of his own, the fact that he was doing business with them. He posted it there and they were falling over themselves. And they're still all over the stuff. They're still visiting the website, reading all the stuff, but they're no longer coming up with inquiries. My theory is that they've talked among themselves. They do that a lot, by the way. He's told me a lot about it. And they've realized that this guy is not playing ball like the others. So well, I'm not going to be the first person I'm not going to pay him if you don't want to pay him. And everybody's like, let's wait and see how he survives. And we just keep going with the content. We're just going to carry on. I did that for years. It took me a lot of time before I finally began to succeed with web marketing the way I do today. And that's the key. So ultimately, what I'm saying in essence is that it's not having all these gizmos, all these bells and whistles, all these technology tools. It's not about how sophisticated the technological tools you use are. It's about the quality of engagement you're able to achieve with the content you create. The higher the quality of engagement, the greater your chances of making a sale. I'm living proof of it, and I've achieved it time and time again. And my client knew it. That's why he believed in me and engaged me. And so do my other clients that are doing business with me. So the key here is, let's all focus on delivering quality content to our target audiences and adding call to action, CTAs, into every message that we create, every bit of content that we create. It's only a matter of time before those who fit our target audience profile, in other words, those who need the solutions we are selling, begin to come to us. So long as you put a call to action there, it's finished. Do the engaging content, they will connect with it and they will see the call to action. And by the time they are ready, they will contact you. You don't need to chase them around on your website because they are there. Take it easy. Wait for the system to work for you, and it will. All right? I hope you find this useful. I wish you well.